Hello guys, it's me Teacher Hanji once again. For this tutorial, we will solve problems involving quadratic equation. But before we proceed, let us have the following objectives. The learner should be able to first, differentiate when to use extracting the roots and factoring to a given situation. Second, find the solution of quadratic equation by extracting the square roots or factoring. And last, solve problems involving quadratic equation using the two methods. Now, let us recall how to solve quadratic equation by extracting the square roots or factoring. Let us find the solution of the following quadratic equation. Let us have number 1. X squared minus 81 is equal to 0. It consists of quadratic term and constant term. To find the solution of this, it is better to extract the square root. So meaning, we will have x squared is equal to positive 81. So when we get the square root of 81, we will obtain, yes, it is positive negative 9. Therefore, the positive solution there is positive 9. Wow. Let us have example 2. X squared minus 24 is equal to 0. Yes, it is also consist of quadratic term and the constant term. So meaning we will use extracting square roots to find the roots of this equation. So we have 6x squared is equal to 24. And to isolate x squared, we will divide both sides by 6. Therefore, we have x squared is equal to 4. And the square root of 4 is equal to, yes, it is positive negative 2. Therefore, the positive solution is 2. Let us have example 3. X squared minus 5x minus 36 is equal to 0. Equation in number 3 is a trinomial. So meaning, we can't use extracting square roots this time. Instead, let's use factoring. What is the factor of negative 36 that if you find their sum, the answer will be negative 5? Factor of negative 36, sum is equal to negative 5. Yes, it will be negative 9 times positive 4. If you add the sum will be negative 5. Therefore, the answer for number 3 is positive 9. We will still apply the zero product property for the factors of x squared minus 5x minus 36. Let us have number 4. Same with number 3, it is trinomial, quadratic term, constant term, and the linear term. So let's use factoring. Transform it to standard form. So we have x squared plus 2x minus 3 is equal to 0. Then find the factor. Therefore, the positive solution is, yes, 1. Okay, last. X squared minus 10 is equal to negative 1. If you notice, it only consists with quadratic term and constant term. Other side is also a constant term. Therefore, we will use extracting the square root to find the value of x or the solution. So, isolate x here. Move negative 10 to the right side. We will have x squared is equal to 9. Square root of 9 is positive negative 3. Therefore, the positive solution is positive 3. I hope you were refreshed on how to solve quadratic equation by extracting square roots or factoring. Let us move on with our main topic, which is solving problems involving quadratic equation. Let us have problem number 1. Cora has a piece of cloth whose area is 32 square inches. What is the length of the side of the largest square that can be formed using the cloth? To solve the problem, let us illustrate it first. Let us assume that this is the piece of cloth that Cora has. And from the problem, it says that the area of this cloth is equal to 32 square inches. Next, let us now find the solution. First, let us use the formula for the area of the square since it's the only key in our problem. So, meaning, area of the square is equal to S square or the side times side. Then from here, let us substitute the area. So from here, it is given that the area is 32 square inches. So meaning, our A here will be 32. And we will just find the side of the given square. Assuming that this one is a quadratic equation, it consists of quadratic term and a constant term. So meaning, we will extract the root of the given equation by simply using the square root property. So I'll just add radical sign to both sides. So we have square root of s squared is equal to square root of 32. Since we know that 32 is not a perfect square, we need to find the factors of 32 in such one of them is a perfect square. So what is that? It can be 8 times 4. 4 is a perfect square. But other than that, there is another factor, which is 16 times 2. We know that 16 is a perfect square. Therefore, we will use this one to simplify square root of 32. So, find the roots of 16 and 2. We will have side is equal to 4 square root of 2 inches. And that is the length of the largest square. Okay, let us have problem number 2. Paul has to use oil paint that can cover 50 square centimeters. If he is going to paint a square frame, what is the length of the largest frame he can paint? And let us illustrate the situation. Let us assume that this is the wall that Paul has going to paint. It says from the problem that Paul has to use enamel paint that can cover 50 square centimeters. So let us assume that that one is the 50 square centimeter. Same with problem number 1, since we are talking about square, so meaning we will use the formula in getting the area of a given square. So that is A is equal to S square, or A is equal to the side square. So from here, it says that the area is equal to 50 square centimeters. So meaning, we will substitute that to our A. So we have S square is equal to 50. Now, since we have here quadratic term and a constant term, we will use again the square root property. So meaning, I'll simply extract the roots for S square and 50. And we know that 50 is not a perfect square. So find the factors of square root of 50 first to simplify that one. So we have S is equal to square root of 25 times 2. Since we know that 25 times 2 is equal to 50 and 25 is also a perfect square. So from here, let us find the roots of 25 and 2. We have S is equal to 5 square root of 2 centimeter, and that is the length of the largest frame. Okay, let us move on with problem number 3. The two numbers are differ by 9. The sum of their squares is 653. What are the numbers? Okay, so we are now talking with the two numbers. So in this case, we need to find the two numbers or the value of the given two numbers. So from the given, it says that the two numbers are differ by 9. So meaning, one number can be the smaller number, and let us assume that that is x. And the other number, which is the larger one, is equal to x. X for the smaller because we don't know yet what is the smaller number. And since it says here that it differ by 9, so meaning the larger number has more than 9 than the smaller number. It says here in our second given that the sum of their squares is 653. So meaning we will find the square of x and the square of x plus 9 to find the two numbers. So with that, our equation will be x squared for that x plus square of x plus 9, that will be equal to 653 according to the given. Let us expand the squares here by using the FOIL method. So we have x squared plus this one, x squared plus 18x plus 81 is equal to 653. So this time, we will combine the like terms. So x squared plus x squared is equal to 2x squared plus 18x plus 81. Using addition property of equality, we will add both sides by negative 653 to make this side equal to 0. So therefore, we still combine this one. We will have 2x squared plus 18x minus 572 is equal to 0. If we will notice, each coefficients and numbers here are divisible by 2. So to lessen our conflict in finding the solution for this one and using the factoring, let us make the coefficient of x squared here be equal to 1 by dividing the equation by the coefficient of a. So 2 divided by 2 now is equal to 1. So we only have here x squared alone. 18 divided by 2. 572 divided by 2 and 0 divided by 2. It will give us our standard form be equal to x squared plus 9x minus 286 is equal to 0. Now, we have here the trinomial. So, meaning we will use factoring in finding the solution for this problem. So, we have x plus 22 and x minus 13. Positive 22 times negative 13 is equal to 286. If you add the two numbers, the answer will be positive 9. So using the zero product property, we will have the value of x, which is equal to negative 22, and the value of another one is equal to positive 13. Now we know the values of our x, which is negative 22 and positive 13. Let us now substitute it to our smaller number and to our larger number. So from here, our x is equal to negative 22. If that is the case, then the larger number will be negative 22 plus 9, which is equal to negative 13. So, smaller number here is negative 22 and the larger one is negative 13. Their difference is 9. So, that's still correct. But what if our x is equal to 13? So, meaning, if the smaller number is equal to 13, then the larger number will be 13 plus 9 is equal to 22. So, that is the answer. The numbers are negative 13 and negative 22 or 13 and 22. Let us now move on with problem number 4. The length of the rectangle is 4 times its width. When the length is reduced by 2 units and the width is increased by 3 units, the area of the rectangle becomes 198 square units. Find the length and the width of the original rectangle. Like what we did in problem number 1, 2, and 3, we will just simply illustrate this one. So from our first given, it says that the length of the rectangle is 4 times its width. So meaning, the length we don't know yet, and the width we don't know yet. So let's start with the width. Our width will be equal to x, and the length will be 4 times its width. So we have 4 times x. Next, in our second given, it says that the length is reduced by 2 units. So meaning we will subtract 2 units from our original rectangle. Next, it also says that The width is increased by 3 units. So we will add 3 units from our original rectangle. After reducing 2 units and increasing 3 units, the area of this rectangle now will become 198 square units. Let us now find the length and the width of the original rectangle. So if you notice, given here is the area of the rectangle. So we will use the formula of that. Area of the rectangle is equal to length times width. So let us now form our equation. So we have 4x minus 2x since we reduce this rectangle. And this side is x plus 3 since we add 3 units from here. So our equation will be 198 for the area. And the length is 4x minus 2 and x plus 3. So using the FOIL method, our equation will be 198 is equal to 4x squared plus 10x minus 6. Again, I'll just simply use the FOIL method in finding the product of these two numbers. Now, let us combine the like terms. So we will simply move 198 to the right side so we can combine the like terms. So we have 0 is equal to 4x squared plus 10x minus 6 minus 198. It will give us the standard form of 4x squared plus 10x minus 204. Since these numbers are not divisible by 4, we will not divide these terms by 4 this time. So we will just simply move on with factoring. The factor of that will be 2x plus 17 times 2x minus 12. So to find the solution, we will have the zero product property. So from here, our x is equal to negative 17 over 2. And from here, our x is equal to 12 over 2, which is also equal to 6. Remember, class, that we will not use the negative solution from here since we are referring to the side of a given rectangle. Remember that there is no negative size. So therefore, we will use positive 6 to solve this problem. Going back to our original rectangle, it says here that the side is equal to x and the length is equal to 4x. So substituting 6, our length and width will be equal to 24 units and 6 units. So is that so? Because 4 times 6 is equal to 24 and x is equal to 6. Meaning the length and the width of the original rectangle is 24 units and 6. This time, it's your turn. Try to answer the following problems on your scratch paper. So let us find out the answer. Number 1, Yang owns an inland resort in the shape of a square with an area of 10,000 square meters. She plans to use barbed wire in fencing it. Find the length of the barbed wire she has to buy. So the answer is 100 meters. Second, the product of two consecutive integers is 72. Find the two integers. Yes, it can be negative 9 times negative 8 and 8 and 9. Okay, the base of a triangle is 4 decimeter longer than the altitude and the area is 16 decimeter square. Find the length of the base and the altitude. So the base is equal to 4 decimeter and the altitude is 8 decimeter. And I hope we have the same answer. So remember class that in solving problems involving quadratic equations, you need to first convert the information given into a quadratic equation, then solve the quadratic equation obtained using different methods learned. And second, relate the solution obtained to the statement asked in the question. So that will be all. You're doing a good job. Thank you for watching. See you again in my next video. Bye!